back to my vlog. Alright, so this is a little video. I'm going to show you the issue I found on my Rigol DP832. Now, I never noticed this before, and maybe I should have done, but if you look at the multimeter here, this is directly from the output of the Rigol, and I'm going to turn it on, and as you can see here, we're straight up to 33.369 volts. Now it's kicked in good. Now the output voltage 3 volts, as it should be, and it tracks, you know, to whatever voltage I'm dialing in. It goes to where it should do, and that's the same on channel 2. But let me just show you channel 2 now, just as oh, come on, I undid the thingy to make this easy for myself. Right, now let me show you channel 2 when I switch on. Channel 2 doesn't have that issue, and that is a problem. I mean, imagine that you've got, you know, a device connected, it can only take 12 volts maximum, let's say, and you've got it connected to your power supply. You turn it on, you're automatically putting through 3 volts. That can, you know, that can cause you to, yeah, that's not a good thing. As Davy Jones would say, that could cause you to have a bad day. And right, so that's one thing. Alright, so let's get rid of this. There's no more issues. I'm just going to show you now, if I can, the firmware version. System info. I don't know if you can see that. I'll draw it a little bit closer. I did just bring it a little bit closer, couldn't I? Alright, so we got firmware version 1.16. Okay, it says digital version, but it's a firmware version. Look, DP832A, it thinks it's an 832A. I can quite clearly be seen by it. It's a DP832. And it's one of the old ones as well. I got it, I don't know, 7 years ago, 6 years ago, something like that. Anyway, so yeah, so it's had its, you know, the mods done, the screen and bits and pieces, as you can see. Right, so we're going to try a firmware update and see if that makes any difference. Now, because I've got to pull all this out and mess about, I'm going to do it off camera, pull it out. I've got me gel file on my disc. Got it here on my disc already, and so it's a case of putting it in and doing the firmware update. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I've pulled it out. I've got the USB in the back. Now the idea is now we're going to power on, and when the Rigol comes up with the 3 dots, we're going to hit the help button. So let's power on, USB in, 3 dots, quickly hit the help button. As you can see, look, it's starting to do the upgrade process. At least putting the information in. Alright, 2 out of 2. Alright, well, not quite sure there. Supposed to proceed to the waveform configuration interface. Notice that the dark grey buttons underneath the screen define 1, 2. Press help button twice to open the help menu. And these buttons in order. Help, help. Well, that didn't do anything on mine. Right, so once it finishes the update, the instrument will proceed to the waveform configuration interface. Notice that the 5 dark grey buttons underneath here are defined as M1, M2, 3, 4 to 5. And from left to right, press the help button twice to open the help menu. Once, twice. Once, twice. Then press the buttons in order M4, M2, M1 to update analog board 1. So M4, M2 and M1. So if I say M4, M2 and M1, that's not doing anything. Let's just turn that off and reboot it. You're not supposed to make any changes when you're doing that. You're not supposed to turn the power off, but it seems like it's just gone through and done it. Alright, all this stuff's off. If I press help now, I get nothing. If I press output on, I got nothing on anything. Oh, I wonder if that's because it's got the USB in the back still. I suppose that'd be one of the things you do. If the instrument fails to read the update file, mine didn't do that. It's just I've not been able to go through the procedure, the buttons in order to update the different boards. Right, let's pull the thing out the back. Yeah, I'm going to just set you there for a second. Pull this out the back. So we've no longer got the USB thing in there. And see what happens now. Alright. So does that turn on? Ah, okay, it turns on. Now let's have a little look in the utility, system info. And now look, as you can see, it says 1.19 where it was 1.16. So the actual update procedure isn't quite what it says it is. Can I press the help buttons now? Yeah, I can. Alright, because that's what I couldn't do before. Let's just go back on here and get out the utility. Press help now. Press the desired key to get the corresponding information. Press that, select OK. So that works. Let's get out of there. Now what I want to see is what happens on this output thing when I first switch it on. So let's just push this back a little bit. Turn that off. Put our meter back in the view. And have a little look on the output. And right, fingers crossed. Ah, look, nothing on the output. Beautiful. All right, well, let's just check that we do actually have an output. Yep, 3 volts. Okay, so that sorted that out. I wonder who, if anybody, got caught out with that. If you had a, you know, a circuit just left on there, and you just happen to power up, and it do your circuit some damage. I wonder if, you know, there's anybody out there that's got that as a feedback. I've got to just double check that, because yeah, you got no idea of the cold chill that ran down my spine when I first saw that did that. I was like, whoa, no, you know, all the things been playing around with it could have been damaged. All right, well, let me just look at that. Look at it. Just right. Just look at that meter. It goes up to like just over like a volt. 2 volts flashes on the 2 volts, doesn't it? Well, that's much better than it hanging on 33 point whatever volts. So I'm really pleased that I've done that now. Yeah, and it seems like everything else is left in there, because if I turn that on, look, there's still millivolts and milliamp on currents and watts, and so that's all I wanted. I don't even care if it doesn't give me some of the other stuff, because I never really use it. But that starting up with 33 volts there was a spine chiller for me when I first noticed it. Anyway, that's it. That's the end of the advert. Ended the video. We've done the update. It's worked. It's cured that issue on the output of channel 1. Oh, let's just do a quick check on channel 2 actually. Just make sure it hasn't deferred it. elsewhere. We knew channel 2 was okay before, so let's have a little look now. And yeah, I mean, it would be nice if channel 1 didn't put any voltage out at all, but 2 volts isn't really going to hurt anything. Unless you're working with something specific that has to be under 2 volts. And for me, that's not going to happen. Hasn't happened yet. It's 3 volts, I think, was the lowest for me. Maybe if you got an LED on there, but for that amount of time. And, I don't know if there's any current output. Might be interesting to take a peek at that. Alright, so I decided I'm going to do a quick little check. I've gone for a red LED because they take the least amount of power, and I know that these ones don't really need a great deal. So let's pop this on here like this. Alright, get that on there. So we've got all eyes on the LED. For that, I'm going to turn this light off so we can capture the slightest amount. And if I just zoom that into there. Alright, let's have a look. Oh, did you see that? So it does have a wee bit of current with it. And that was actually the current here is on 1 amp, and there's no current limit on it or off it. But it is interesting to see that for an instant we get enough the power of the LED. But still, oh, wrong way. It's still better than 33 volts continuous for a while until it gets rid of that startup screen. Oh, let's just. Now that's interesting. The LED doesn't seem to be working anymore. So let's just set the current to something really small. Oh, what am I doing? Come here. Let's just back out of that. So let's set the current to something really small. And 20 milliwatts, right? 3 volt doesn't matter. Yeah, doesn't matter. We turn it on. We killed our LED. So there's enough power goes out of there to kill your LED. Don't know, but it's still better than a 33 volts. So I'll leave it as that for now. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope this is helpful. If you've had any experiences with these blowing your circuits or anything like that, and you haven't done the update to firmware 1.19, hey, stick it down in the comments. And yeah.